What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another Scum video. I hope all do well as always. Thank you very much for your ongoing support on the channel. Now, ladies and gents, we are 2 months into 1.0 and there are a lot of pros and cons and there's a lot of bugs to squish as well. We know that. And as the devs stated, 1.0 is in the end not even close. And I am dying to see some of these bugs that are going to be fixed within the game and some of these QOLs that are going to make the game a lot better as well. We'll save that for another video. This video here is just to let you guys know what's going on with the development update. Let's be honest, there's not exactly a ton that's been going on because obviously they got the 1.0 stuff, and now that they've done some testing, they can start slowly putting things out for us as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on the screen here some of the bits I've put together so we can actually see what's going on here. So let's get all the imagery stuff out the way first, and then we're going to get on to some of the other cool stuff that I think you guys might be interested in as well. I certainly am. Right, so let's get these ones out the way. The shovel, ladies and gents, the military camping shovel, as you can see, you're going to be able to cut with it, melee with it, and you're going to be able to bury with it. Obviously, it's going to be a 3-in-1 tool. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool tool. We got plenty of shovels in the game. Not exactly sure what this is going to be used for, but apparently this is going to have a special ability in some way, and I don't know exactly what that means. Someone just said to me today on the live stream that there's something else with this. Now, I'm wondering if there's going to be treasure hunting or something like that. I generally have no idea, but they wouldn't say anything, but I'm guessing a small shovel, you know, and all that sort of stuff. Who knows? We might have treasure hunting or something like that. We might find clues, which actually is kind of like how RuneScape did things, you know, where you'd do all the clues and then get to the treasure at the end and stuff, which is, do you know what? I think that would be interesting if that was the case. Adding another shovel right now, I have no interest in other than if it actually has some use for something different. But why would you just use this for that? Why wouldn't they just use the other shovels that we currently have as well? No idea why, but like I said, we have the Tomahawk here as well. You guys can see, again, we've got plenty of axes and stuff. Not exactly sure why we're having another one of these in the game. Another item that's going to be coming in, guys, is improvised wheels, tires. Now, this is a welcomed addition because this is something that's going to help out new players. Unlike the Tomahawk and the shovel and stuff, we can make those. We can make improvised shovels and axes and stuff. So not entirely, again, sure exactly why they're bringing them in, but we should find out soon. Okay, so we have the improvised tires here, and you can see it there on the cruiser as well, the improvised wheels. And again, like I said, it's a welcomed addition due to the fact that if you can't find tires, then you can make these, and then you can use these to go and find some real tires. Okay, so before we get into the juicy stuff, I want to put this out here first because obviously if no one knows about this, so Scum official servers, ladies and gents, they got a system called Watchdogs. They've called it Watchdogs. A while ago, they introduced Watchdogs. It's a system, ladies and gents, that will detect and prevent people from avoiding the ping limit using different kinds of software in order to ensure the best performance on our servers. So in other words, people playing from China and Asia and stuff like that aren't going to be able to just flood Western servers. That is what I'm gathering from this. So they're not going to be able to use VPNs and stuff to get on these specific servers. Now, there are a bunch of servers still, official servers, that the devs have where you can go on there and there is no ping limit. So you're going to have a whole bunch of people from all over the world playing as well. Now, let me know what you guys think about this, because new players are going to be coming to Scum and they're going to be going, generally, like most games, they go onto official servers. Unless you have a friend who recommends a private server, then you sort of move on to there. So this is pretty much what that is all about. So let me know what you guys think of that. I'm very interested to see. So let's have a look at this one here. Aside from the bug fixing, which is prominent for the team, there's a lot of new things that we share. Let's start with the big ones. So they're working on adding cuts and bruises, visual effects for prisoners. You'll be able to see the injuries on the characters and what they're sustaining. Also, very early stages of work have begun on the much anticipated infections and diseases system. Something I'm very much looking forward to, and hopefully they bring in boiling water as well, because right now we can literally just get water from anywhere. We don't have to watch ourselves. And don't forget, ladies and gents, this is a survival game with PvP elements. This isn't a PvP game, so to speak. Yes, you can PvP, but it's not technically designed for that. Originally, you know, if you want to play PvP games, you got Marvels, you got Call of Duty, you got Battlefield, you know, CSGO. Those are real PvP games, right? Even PUBG and stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about PUBG. So you can see where I'm going with this. The survival side of this game, right now, personally, for me, is currently wasted. But we've got these that are being worked on, and I'm being completely honest, guys, with my opinions about how this is. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just something that I think we should have had a long time ago before they hit the 7-year mark. So it says here, work has continued also on clothes painting mechanic, but you already saw some of that from before. Apart from that, there are also some optimizations made to the mesh lights and admin command, and removing NPCs was added. Now, just before I get on to the next part, something that I think is still very important in this game, guys, that is still broken, is drying of the clothes. Now, I know a lot of people have been talking about this on the Scum forums. I do check it from time to time, not every day, but for me, I tend to go with the issues that I'm finding in the game, not what other people are tend to finding in the game. But drying of the clothes is a big issue right now. It doesn't work as intended. It's not working currently. And even some other things as well, right? Here's a couple of ideas just to throw out there that might be a good idea, right? So we currently have, for example, we got a gold system in Scum, right? We have the gold bars. Why can't we go round with our metal detectors, find gold nuggets, pick them up with our shovel, and smelt them in a furnace? This wasn't even my idea. This was actually one of my viewers, and said smelt them in a furnace that we could have at base, right? We could have a whole smelting system or whatever, and then we can take them to the trader to use. It would make it more interesting, and it would make more sense as well, because you don't need gold. You can set server settings just to use cash. Another thing as well would be washing clothes. A whole box of 100 out of 100 suds, and then you have a timer on a cauldron thing that boils the water. You put the fire underneath, boil the water. I know I'm going on a tangent here, guys, but I'm just throwing ideas. Feel free to put this in the comment section below as well if you got any. But I think that would be a great idea as well, like a drying rack. And just having these extra items in base. Right now, bases are very dull. They're very dreary. There's nothing really in there other than painting walls, which again doesn't look too attractive. I feel like we should have a lot more going on in base and a lot more things to do, you know, making our own swords and stuff like that. I know this isn't one of them games, but it would be nice to have more to do at the base. A lot of people spend their time at the base. The hard surface folks are actually working on some cool things. First up, they're finishing up the military shovel. We've gone through that. The Tomahawk, we've gone through that, and as well as new firepower in the form of a Tommy gun to top it off. That'll be interesting. We're also working on an improvised wheel. We've gone through that as well. You've seen that for the bikes. On the soft surface, they're preparing new Twitch drop campaign. That's going to be cool. The 2D team, as in, do you know, I really like the Twitch drops. I'm not going to lie. I think they're really cool, and to have more interesting things like that to wear is welcoming. The 2D team has been engaged with level design textures and making corrections to the mobile phone UI to better distinguish between new and opened quests, as well as some corrections to the journal UI. Yeah, I would like to see a little bit more... I would see a little bit more direction, you know, to understand how these quests are. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot. I know how the quests work. You got tier 1, 2, and 3. But it would be nice to sort of just get a better UI for that, to make it make a little bit more, you know, sense. Or you can set only to do tier 2s and stuff like that. I know it says in the book, but you can, you know, you can only do tier 2s or 3s. I'm just saying, I think the quest system needs a bit of work. That's all I'm saying, guys. The 2D team has been engaged with some level design textures and making corrections for the mobile phone UI to better distinguish between new and open quests. Right, I've just said that. Sorry, I do apologize. The new animation team is heavily involved with bug fixing, but also working on new marketing materials and new animations for the flagpole base building element. More on that in future updates. Okay, we don't know anything about that right now. The sound team is making changes to the directional wind and the wind effect for roofless vehicles. It is recording new barefoot footsteps and editing water and sea and sound effects. And I do agree that the audio needs fixing. And also, the audio needs to come up in certain areas. I had it on max earlier. I'm running a mixer. I've got it on loud, and I'm still just about hearing someone behind me. I managed to get the kill, thankfully, but I just about heard some bushes rustling behind me, but it was very quiet. Our design team has been engaged with some bug fixing, but also heavily involved in designing the aforementioned disease feature. So we're going to have all those coming. Okay. So last but not least, the hard surface folks are keeping things clean with work on the new military models and a little something to get your vehicles in motion quicker. Obviously, I think that's the wheels. On the soft surface side, it's all fresh gear. New wardrobe pieces are being stitched up, and you'll want to see what they've cooked up. Interesting for the clothes and stuff. Animations are being touched up across the board, ensuring smoother transitions, cleaner interactions, and the run-of-the-mill bug fixing. The animation team is also lending a hand to other departments, proving to be truly reliable little helpers. And also, the sound team is developing into ASMR territory with new barefoot footsteps recordings, new sounds for the mountain bike, and fine-tuning sounds when it comes to directional wind. Like right there, ladies and gents, is almost pretty much everything that the devs are working on right now. There is really nothing else. I picked all that over the last month. Of everything I can show you, everything that they're working on right now. Again, I'm interested in the shovels and stuff like this. I want to kind of see what that is, because I've heard that's going to have a use for something. But again, we've got loads of shovels, improvised shovels, metal shovels, spades, and stuff like that as well. But guys, there's pros and cons to every game out there, okay? I absolutely love Scum, and I always will love Scum, and I want to see this game go even further than what it is now. 1.0 is only the beginning of a lot of the interesting things coming in, but I do find right now, even though we have the NPCs, I feel like we kind of need some mods or something. Like, we need something. Even if they're working on a new map, I would love it more than anything to bring in a new map, because I've seen, okay, for new players as such, but I've also seen people requesting GPS stuff. We know the map like the back of our hand. We've had the same map for 7 years. I think we know what we're doing and where we're going with this right now. Also, I'd like to see the map being zoomable, but the devs did say where they haven't completed the map yet, they can't really do anything else until the map is completely done. So that's probably going to be some time before we get anything like that as well. That is my honest take with this. Guys, I do appreciate your time, your generosity, and your support on the channel. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe, of course, feel free to hit that as well, and leave a comment down below as well. Guys, have a safe rest of your weekend. Much love, and I'll catch you on Monday's live stream. Take care.